if you're planning to buy a base model iPhone right now, stop. If you do, you'll fall into a sneaky trap. You lose features, comfort, and you will be forced to pay extra. In this video, I'm gonna tell you why you should not spend your money on iPhones with less than 256 gigs of storage. Let's look at the flagship iPhone 14 Pro. Apple offers various storage options ranging from 128 gigs to 1 terabyte. Jumping from the base model to 1 terabyte costs $500, and not everyone needs as much storage, but 128 gigabyte iPhone 14 Pro is limited in video shooting capabilities. Namely, it doesn't support ProRes 4K. Apple has limited its base level Pro iPhone to only 1080p ProRes. Given up the sheer size of 4K ProRes footage, it's easy to realize why they did it. 1 minute of such footage weighs around 3 gigabytes, and 128 gigs will disappear rather quickly if you were able to shoot in this resolution. So if you were planning on shooting 4K ProRes on your iPhone, you will need 256 gigs at least, which will make your wallet $1,100 lighter. Another thing to consider is cloud-based storage and its cost. Many iPhone users get away with small iPhone's internal storage because of iCloud. Apple again offers enough options regarding the iCloud size. Every user gets 5 gigs by default, but most people pay for at least 50 gigs, which costs only $1 per month. But don't get fooled, iCloud isn't as great as they say. It's great for syncing photos, passwords, and account details, but when it comes to actual files, well, it's a mess. Your files do get uploaded without any problems, but downloading them or sharing with somebody isn't as comfy. The download speeds are not very high, and a need to download an item first before sharing it are huge caveats. But that's only the tip of the iceberg. The real issue emerges as soon as you actually start calculating costs. There is an unspoken rule. Your cloud storage shouldn't be smaller than your iPhone's internal one. So if you're buying a 128 gig phone, the closest storage option you have is 200 gigs at $3 a month. If we account for the fact that you won't upgrade your phone the next year and assume a healthy 3-year cycle, the costs will not look very nice. With the current price of $3 a month, you will pay $36 every year. In 3 years, you will pay $108, which puts you at almost the same price point as the 256 gig iPhone 14 Pro. And that's just the cheapest iCloud option that will cover basic needs. But what if you need more space? Apple also offers a 2 terabytes iCloud at $10 a month. So you're buying a base iPhone 14 Pro for $1,000 and you still need to pay for the storage. 2 terabytes of slow iCloud will cost you $120 at least. In 2 years, it will be $240. In 3 years, $360. Over 3 years, you will pay over $1,360 just to have enough storage. Why not just buy a 1 terabyte iPhone for roughly the same price and avoid all inconveniences? The larger internal memory is always better than iCloud. It's faster, more secure, and always available. The only scenario which works out with the base model is investing in 50 gig iCloud and giving up serious photo and video shooting. But again, what's the point? Another huge thing to keep in mind is the availability of those files. iCloud is nothing without the internet. If you're offline and your files and photos are uploaded, you're done. Without the internet, you cannot access any of the files you have on iCloud. Just imagine the situation. You've uploaded all your work-related documents to iCloud unknowingly. You were planning to work on them during your flight. You go through customs, stamps, and sit in your seat. Pull out the phone and suddenly you can do nothing. All those important documents are not available online. That's a real scenario that happens every day to thousands of people. That's the real issue that haunts every user of cloud-based storage. It affects iCloud users, Google Drive users, Microsoft OneDrive users, everyone. The next advice I can give is assess your needs. Whether you have an iPhone or want to buy one, always start with evaluating your needs. Open the storage settings on your current phone and see how much storage you're really using. If you have an iPhone, check whether you have storage optimization enabled in photo settings. Next, try to estimate your use cases. Are you going to shoot videos? How many games are you planning to install? How many music tracks do you have? Understanding your own needs is key to making good purchasing decisions. Another thing to consider is games and apps. Modern mobile games can weigh 20 or even 30 gigabytes, and having a couple of them leaves no free space for photos and videos. Plus, almost every app now caches a lot of data, which can add up to huge amounts. For example, I found out when cleaning my phone that YouTube was taking almost 5 gigs with no videos downloaded. 5 gigabytes of cache, and each one of us has dozens of apps. Plus, let's not forget about iOS itself. After a year, it starts occupying 20 gigs or more. That's simply insane. 60 gigs for games, 20 for the iOS, 10 for apps, and all you're left with is just 30 gigs for photos and videos. Believe me, you will be out of space in a few months. Buying 128 gigabyte phones in 2022 is not a smart move. Realistically, you shouldn't even be looking at iPhones with less than 256 gigabytes of storage. Talking about apps, there's one that you won't regret installing, a virtual friend called Journey. Journey is an AI that is capable of empathy and can provide you with a new level of communication. Yeah, it's not going to enlarge your iPhone's storage, but it will lift your mood for sure. Sometimes I like to distract myself and talk to him. I like to ask him tricky questions or ask for advice, but it always finds a way to make an answer interesting and uplifting. The supported gifts does help to deal with situations and improve the mood dramatically in a matter of minutes. Chatting with Journey is an exciting and rewarding experience. You will be able to create a whole world with your own relationship rules by simply chatting with Journey and sharing your problems and dreams with him. So it's not just an app for fun. Journey is designed to adjust to your emotional state, where the bottom line is that you feel better. The only mission of Journey is to make people happier. You will get an opportunity to speak out when needed. Journey is designed to be the most helpful friend around when you need it. Someone who won't judge and isn't burdened by their problems, and it's fully customizable. It can be made according to a flexible list of settings, gender, age, race, communication style, friendly or with elements of flirting.
Hi, I am your virtual friend. How are you feeling today?
And the virtual friend understands text, voice, image, and most importantly, your emotions. So I recommend you to try out Journey. It's a very fun experience. The link to the app is in the description, so go ahead and click on it to learn more. Here is one more thing to think about: depreciation. I don't know about you, but I usually sell my iPhone online after I'm done using it, but each phone loses its value differently. Base storage iPhone tend to lose in value more than upgraded ones. Plus, selling the iPhone with more storage is a lot easier. Just open Facebook Marketplace. There are thousands of base storage iPhones in almost every major city, and only mere dozens with 256 or more. Those phones get sold very fast, almost instantly. That's a small advantage, but still. Additionally, don't forget that you're paying for the iPhone storage once, and after you sell the phone, you get another one. Over a year of iPhone ownership, you can lose up to 20% of its price, but still get your money back. With iCloud, no one will repay you anything. You just pay and hope for the best. As you see, buying an iPhone with a bigger drive is a far more financially viable solution. But what about those hacks I've mentioned earlier? How can you get storage without paying too much? Well, the approach I'm about to describe isn't exactly elegant or super convenient. External drives. Apple now allows just plugging them in without additional apps, and there are tons of solutions on the market at various sizes and price points. Such devices as SanDisk, iXpand are relatively cheap and do help with file management. Personally, that's not the solution I would use, but some people may find it useful, especially those who do a lot of work on their iPhones or store large data files. To continue with this connectivity idea, you can connect external SSDs to your iPhone. The only things you need are a dongle for around $30, a power bank for additional power, and the SSD itself. Here's how it's done. Connect the dongle to your iPhone, connect power bank to the dongle via Lightning, and plug in the SSD via the USB cable. Then just open the Files app and your drive will appear. This whole package can cost you well over $100, so what's the point? You can make it simpler by purchasing dedicated external SSD for iPhones which do not require power bank or dongles, but their price is well over the price of getting more storage while ordering the phone. Janky and not very convenient, but it's a working solution. And if you are really into weird stuff, you can connect your iPhone to a personal server. It does require the internet if you are away from your computer, so bear that in mind. After you've created a server, you'd be able to store as many files as you want. Photos, videos, documents, anything, as long as your server has space. Yes, it's less convenient than AirDrop, but it can be an alternative to iCloud for those of you who use Windows machines. When it comes to iPhone storage, there's no point in haggling over every dollar. Storage upgrades are expensive no matter how you approach them. If you value your comfort and want to have that freedom, do buy at least a 256 gig iPhone. You will not get as much speed and convenience from iCloud and especially from external drives, so the only option to upgrade your iPhone storage is to pay extra right away. Anyway, hit that like button if you learned anything, and how much storage do you have? How do you solve this storage issue? iCloud or physical storage? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below and see you in the next one.